On last week's show, we traveled to the Amazon River Basin in Brazil. Known as the largest river system on the planet, this vast body of water is home to one of the most ferocious fighters that swims in fresh water, the peacock bass. These beautiful creatures often grow in excess of 30 pounds. With the power of a tornado, they can explode with lightning-like speed. Often compared to grabbing the tail of a jaguar, this tug-of-war battle brings up the question, who really has who in this battle? When we left you, we had a giant peacock that had run us into the middle of a deadfall tree on the jungle's edge. Without warning, Aji, our guide, plunged into the piranha-infested waters to retrieve the peacock bass. In this harsh environment, will the predator become the prey?
Do you see him down there, Dino? I can't even believe it. Where is he?
I can see.
There he got it! Yeah! All right, Ashi. I can't believe it. Come here, friend. Oh, you're my new hero. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh. Perfect. Unbelievable. Ashi. Oh, buddy, you're the man. Can you believe? Folks, he went in there right after this thing. Here's what happened. That fish took off screaming. We caught him out here, and he blew right into the middle of that tree. I figured that fish was gone for sure. There was no way in the world that we were going to get this beautiful thing out of there. And all of a sudden, Aji he didn't say nothing. He just all of a sudden took off his hat and his thing, and he dove in there. I can't even believe. We were down there trying to figure out what in the world is he doing, and all of a sudden he comes up with this beautiful, beautiful peacock bass. Woo! That's something else. Let's let this fish go. Aji, you're my new hero.
The geographical area is so large, and there are so many islands, so many different streams and rivers coming together in this area that you could spend a lifetime of fishing this area and never have a chance to even fish a half of it. There are so many different species of fish and so many variety of wildlife here that it just is totally enthralling. And this is the advantage of the discovery, is that we can go to a lot of these areas and get the tourists, the fishermen close to that area and where you can fish the most successfully.
We're just coming through a little snow section here. And it didn't take long to figure out that you need to be flipping. Oh, another one. Oh, they're blowing up on us. They're pulling real fast, real fast. Look at this fish. They're just going crazy back here. Just reel it. Oh, Dean, he missed it. Look, there's two fish, Dean. Get over here. Oh! There you go. There was two fish there. Two fish. They cast. You can see there's a little bottleneck, a little spot here. And all of a sudden, these two fish just blew up. That's not the same one. This one, the other one's moving. I want to get this one off so I can catch that one. Hang on. Let's go. Hang on. Here he comes. Look at this one coming right at us. Whoa, he got one. Oh, look at that! Just look at that! Oh! Go ahead, net him. Oh! We got two of them. Just look at this, folks. We got two on one. Oh, baby, look at that. Now we're on the program.
Using only the materials obtained from the jungle, our guides will construct a fire and grill us up an authentic shore lunch made up of peacock bass and piranha. One bite and you're hooked.
Shore lunch.
There, good one. Uh-oh. Going in the tree. Better get on him. Woo-hoo. Come on. What's up? You got him? I got him. Ooh, pretty one. Ooh. They really do. They go right back into the trees. Look at that. Beautiful. Perfect. You know, the equipment that we're using on today's show is really critical to your success. Why don't we have Dean show us some of the proper equipment that you want to bring on a trip to the Amazon like this?
A few of the baits we've been using on today's show to catch these big peacock bass are topwater baits like this bait here. It's a rattle and stick bait. It's made exclusively here in Brazil, and Cadu has them aboard. Don't go anywhere without a raffle. This particular one is a 14. It's a floater, subsurface jerk type bait. Caught a lot of fish on this one today. And one of the tricks we've used today is we've clipped the bill to make it run even shorter in some of the real close situations. Another thing that's key down here in the Amazon is a bait called the wood chopper or the Amazon ripper, which is the smaller version. These are stick baits. You rip them as hard as you possibly can. This is the ones you're going to be throwing on the musky rods with the no stretch line. These are an essential down here. A couple of the other baits that we found very productive are the rattle and chug bug, as well as the new Rapala skitter pop. Put a lot of fish in the boat this afternoon. Also, when you're out there, you want to be throwing rattling type baits. This particular one's a rattling wrap, the biggest size that they make because these fish are big. This particular one has heavy enough hooks on it. But when you go to the baits that really produce well for us here, which is the Husky Jerk from Rapala, you have to put these heavy duty 3-power Eagle Claw hooks on them or they'll pull the hooks right off of it. These fish have got so much power. One of the other baits that we found to work really good was the Super Shad Wrap as well. It's a shallow running bait, you can jerk it, and it's about the size of the shad that they're catching down here. The other stuff that you need while you're here in Brazil is everything has teeth. Berkeley makes a nice light coated leader that you can make your own. About 6-inch seem to be working the best, and that's some of the stuff that you need to bring with you on a trip like this.
Got to resharpen the hooks on this bait. It's really taking a beating. I want you folks to actually look at something here. Just look at this bait. Okay, this bait, I've been using this bait most of the day today, and you can tell just by the teeth marks on it. I mean, this bait has been just beat up. The paint is just tore off of it. Luckily, I haven't lost any of the piranha or anything yet. But when you look at that bait, you can tell every fish in this system has some type of teeth. It doesn't matter what it is. They've all got some type of fangs from anywhere from 1/8 of an inch. We've seen them all the way to about 1 inch. And our baits, you're going to have to bring a fair amount of tackle because the baits are going to take quite an abuse.
Essa região, a gente pode ver e se deparar.
This area, especially this year, I was able to observe just the amount of large fish that are still available in these waters. Just this season alone, we caught up to 8 fish over 25 pounds, which means that's only a couple of pounds off the record. We have friends here in the area that have seen fish, calculated fish at over 20 kilos, which would be well over 40 pounds. But we know for sure there are fish in these waters that are over 30 pounds. So there are new records to be broken, and they're going to be broken as soon as we can catch these fish.
This is real extremely shallow water, but Aji's telling us that if we can get back into the bigger lagoon, there's some grande, big old peacock bass, and that's what we're hoping. Look at, there's one moving. something moving right there. Anyways, what can happen here, folks, is these water levels here in the Amazon fluctuate quite dramatically. I mean, right now we're dealing with real low water conditions. You can see the sandbars, everything is real shallow here. A real dry part of the season. It's not the rainy season right now. Now, probably in another 3, 4, 5 weeks, whatever, this water can be another 10, 15, 20 feet higher than what it is right now. And all them peacocks move back into the jungle, and it's almost impossible to get to them. So we're fortunate right now to be dealing with the real shallow water in the low water season. What can happen here is these peacock bass, they move in here to spawn into these lagoons, and when the water drops, the peacocks get stuck. If you go through a little bit of effort to get in there, it can be just a real jewel. There can be tons and tons of real big peacock in here. Now we're getting in here, Dino. Now we're going in. We're going in deep. Aji's bringing us back to one of his secret little lagoons. You know, we've talked about how you can fish the current areas, the main river tributaries, that type of thing. Then we fished a few of the lagoons. Right now we're ventured back into one of his little lagoons. We're going right through the canopy. We got to go over a bunch of logs. It'll probably take us 10 or 15 minutes. At least he's telling me to get back in here to where some of the biggest peacock bass that he knows of live. Aha! The final destination. Dino, are you ready?
I got my bait rig.
Well, you can look at how this thing opened up back here. We were going through the canopy. I mean, it was over us. It took a lot of work to get back in here. But look at how this thing opened up. Ooh, big one, big one. Grande. A lot of times you'll come into these areas like this, and in these sandbars, the little sand points like that, you'll see caimans sitting up on the shore. We've seen a number of caimans, which is a lot like a crocodile or an alligator. It's a different species, but the caimans, and they'll sit on little areas like that. One of the guys with us seen about a 15-footer here, he said the other day. So they're here. Good one. Good one. It's a good one. He just flushed the toilet on me. Oh, did you see the size of that fish? Oh, no. No, come off.
Oh.
No. No. Ah!
You broke your bait.
Finally, after all this time, my bait. This bait, from all the fish I've been catching, the wood has gotten soft, okay? Because I've lost all the paint, and the actual eyelet that was screwed in back here ripped right out with the soft wood. I never even thought about it. It was the one bait that I was catching most of the fish on, and it was one of the things I didn't want to change it, and all of a sudden, now it actually cost me one of the biggest fish of the trip. But that's part of the game that we're playing here.
Perdemos peixe muito grande. Eu acho não.
What he was saying just now was that he is sure that was a world record, because this last season he's caught 4 fish that were over 12 kilos, which is about 26 pounds, and that one was a lot bigger than any of those fish. So he's really disappointed, because that was a world record for sure.
Ah! Unbelievable. But he's still here. He's still here. I don't know if we'll hook him again, but if you look at the spot that he come from, it's not much different
than a lot of the areas that we've been fishing. We're still back in this little lagoon here, and you can see he just come from that bank right there. It's really a nothing looking spot. And again, it was a situation that the bait that I never changed. When I finally did get the fish to bite, the bait finally broke on me on a potential world record. But what do you say? Look at this fish. I mean, look at the crown arc is just smoking. Woo! There he goes. I'm not kidding you. I've got no control on this fish. None. Here he comes. He comes back. Oh, barely in the last hook in the mouth. Just, oh, no. Don't lose him. Oh. Look at this. The last hook. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. Oh, just look at this fish. Just look at this fish. He's absolutely gorgeous. We got back into this lagoon back here, and I'm telling you, these big old peacock bass are everywhere. Dean's got another one that he's working. Oh. There we go. Just look at this, folks. Just look at this. Barely in the side of the mouth. Just look at that, folks. Have you ever seen anything so beautiful? Big old monster peacock bass. Wow, what an incredible trip have Dean and I had down here at the Amazon. We've been staying here on the Discovery. Kadu and his crew did just a phenomenal job at helping us out down here. Let's get this fish back in the water. Woo! There he goes. But like I was saying, what an unbelievable trip have we had down here at the Amazon. Numbers and numbers of great big peacock bass. You know, one of the lures of the Amazon down here in the jungle is just the mystique and how virgin this area still is. It truly is one of the last outdoor frontiers that exist on the planet today. But you know, for the people back in the Midwest or back in the States, it's not as rugged and as tough as everybody makes it think. This has been an incredibly enjoyable trip for us. I mean, the accommodations have been fantastic. We've had no problems with bugs or anything else. I mean, everything about this area is just top notch. We've had an unbelievable time down here catching these big old peacock bass. We've seen a lot of wildlife. There's been just a number of opportunities that you can explore down here in the Amazon. This truly is one of the last outdoor frontiers, and I recommend anybody coming down here, young, old, it doesn't make a difference. They can take care of you, but it's absolutely beautiful. You don't want to miss this in your lifetime. You got to come down here and check this out. But until next week, I'm Tony Capra with Dean Capra back there still casting, wishing you all good fishing from here in the Amazon.